Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you could be here with us. Hey Jan.
Hey,
Hey,
Steve. Hey, everybody.
glad you could be here with me. So today the topic is really good. We're going to talk about. You said you have a savings tip
I
that you want to
do,
share.
Steve. I do. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. I just want to
You're
raise the
welcome.
volume on my computer so you hear me a little better, hopefully. Hi, everybody. Steve, thanks again for having me. You know what? A lot of people say, oh, I can't save. I just can't do it. Well, you know what? Let's start small. I believe in small but consistent or incremental savings really can help out anybody. And Steve, recently on one of my challenge type shows on a We Can Do It Wednesday, I offered a challenge for the viewers or the listener to the show to consider taking 10% off of anything you do. Let's say you go to the grocery store, deliberately spend 10% less. Example, if you normally allot $50 a week on your grocery budget, even I can figure out, and I am not great with math, but I could figure out that 10% of $50 is on purpose. I'm going to shave off my grocery bill by $5. So some people may say, oh, what's the big deal? Well, that's just at the grocery store. Let's say I want to take 10% off what I do during the week in terms of buying junk food out or coffee out or lunch out on purpose. But here's the thing, Steve. We all have to know our numbers in the first place. Before we can make any progress, we have to know our numbers. Steve, do you think it's possible or easy to remember the 10%? I have a reason why I say the 10%. Because when we were children growing up learning the multiplication tables, the most favorite multiplication tables that the kids picked up easily, because I was a school teacher, was the 5 and the 10 multiple ones. Example, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 foot. All the kids learned that quickly. But their top favorite was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is easy to remember, this rule of 10%. Apply it to something you do in your life, subtract it, you will always be ahead of the game. I have other instances too, Steve, if it's okay to mention, like in terms of gift giving too, your gift giving budget. If you could apply the 10% off what you normally spend on gifts, that's just another area. Or 10% off what you normally might spend on transportation or on gasoline or on childcare services. Find ways. The trick is to be deliberate, and the trick is to work with that easy number, 10%, and know your numbers. How does that sound, Steve?
Um, yeah, I do agree with you. Back when we were in school and in the elementary school days, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, that was the easiest, but then you have your twos and your threes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, 12. That's a little more difficult. But a lot of the time, the fives, the tens, in that number bracket, and you build from there. That was always the easier set to always remember. The other one's a little bit harder to pick up. You don't think of it as quickly as you would those, but
It's so
um,
true.
yeah, what you were saying is correct. I know in my area at certain grocery stores, if you go shopping on certain days of the week, and they'll call it Senior Day, and seniors can go and grocery shop, and at checkout, all you got to do is, I don't know if you show your ID, sometimes you may have, or you enter a phone number, and they'll knock like 20, 25% off your groceries.
Nice.
And what upsets me though about senior discounts is this right here. If somebody walks in, you should be able to notice it plain as day. if they're of that number and above. I had that same issue happen with my dad. He and I used to like to eat breakfast at Hardee's. We would go, 3, 4 days a week. And to this day, I still like Hardee's. Some places it's called Carl's Jr., depending on where you're at. And they would ring up everything. Dad would usually order a coffee. Sometimes I would. Sometimes I'd order an iced tea. And I said, "Hey, wait a minute. Yes, what's wrong?" I said, "Look at him." I said, "How old is he? How old does he look to you?" "Oh, I don't know. What, 69, 7? Yeah." I said, "What does he qualify for?" I said, "Well, he's a little bit older than that. He's 72. "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back and fix that." They should not have to do that. They should automatically assume and have it in their mind's eye if they see somebody that looks like that, of that, because you can tell a senior when they walk in. It's not that.
Politely offer it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they had to go back. It cost them more work because they had to go back and add everything up again. That's
Oh,
on them.
yeah, of course.
So, but definitely, that's one thing that bothers me a lot, is that the seniors especially, they don't get enough recognition
Not
for
taking
this.
enough advantage of the discounts that are available is part of it. And the people who offer it aren't doing their job right.
Right. And sometimes I might as well throw this in as well, only because I'm a Navy brat. I'm a child of a person who was in the Navy. Um, Sometimes if you've got a military discount, they might give you both,
Wow.
but it depends. Or sometimes they'll give you one or the other. I would go with the higher amount. Whichever one was the higher percentage, take that one if they'll only give you one. But they just don't, they're not giving people the proper discounts that they should. And you can see it plain as day when somebody walks in.
That's an example of money literally falling through the cracks.
Yeah.
A person can have many opportunities for savings. And Steve, I get sick and tired of people that laugh at the person that tries to save a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But I look at the great big picture. First of all, I commend the person for trying. Number one. Number two, it is really a gathering of all the efforts. It's not just, well, I knocked off $5 at the grocery store. Where else can we save? Because Steve, I took the poll again. I asked my viewers again, would you rather cut back or increase your income? Now, some folks said they don't mind doing both, but as
Yeah.
usual, as always, cut back always wins. So
Um, I would vote cut back on that poll
excuse
as
me.
well.
Yes.
Um, Increasing income, yeah, it's a good thing. But honestly, though, increasing income, that sometimes that can be a little bit of an issue because things happen. I just had a couple of 3 things turn up with my car. I'm trying to keep my car in good mechanical shape.
Right.
So I've been laying out a little bit more money than planned to get some repairs done on it.
Right.
So I can see where increased income could be. Cutting back. Now that's easier to do. That's an easier thing to do. And you can cut back usually with what you have already there.
Yeah, it's a matter of applying a method, Steve, in my opinion. Applying a method, having a plan, having a plan.
Yeah, if you don't have an idea or plan or something to go on in order to, make things happen, it's not going to happen. You'll just stay in the same circle that you're in, that same rut, as you would call it.
You know, Steve, how you and I always discussed in the past about the dollar a day? Well, Rhoda Stone from the Rhoda Stone channel recently, like a few days back, informed me she still is doing the dollar a day. Thank you, Rhoda. And anyone else that's still doing it, it's the idea of the increments, but doing it consistently. You don't care what other people are saying, hee hee ha ha ho. Sometimes better off not saying anything, in my opinion, just Put
Yeah.
it to the side and just, that's it,
Yeah. Well, if you want to do the dollar a day, it's very simple. Um, okay. When the first of the month starts, look and see how many days you have. Like this year, we have a leap year. All right. When the first of February started, take $29 and set it aside. You've already done your dollar a day.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas March has 31, take $31, put it to the side, you've done it.
It's like writing yourself a check at the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's like, like pay yourself first. And for some people, starting off small like that really works. It's about being consistent. Also your mindset, like, oh, is there a way I could cut a corner here or there? Do I have to do that thing in person, or can I get that thing delivered to me for free and not have to use gas from my car to get to that store? If I could get something free delivery type
Hmm.
thing, there are ways, and there are ways, really.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things are. Oh, speaking of senior discounts, I don't know about a discount, but it's definitely helpful to the seniors. A lot of the sometimes I know Walmart does it. I don't want to call it DoorDash. It's not. Well, what it is seniors get a break on having their groceries delivered to their home. Um,
Good.
I know that that's probably out there. I hope I'm not giving you false
So they get a
information.
senior discount for certain deliveries.
Yeah, because
Excuse me.
they should be given um, the upper hand. I'll tell you another one that falls in that category, and this is a touchy one with me because I know all of you know about my hereditary disease that I have, and I'm also, legally blind in my right eye. But they should also give discounts to people with disabilities.
Yes.
That's not out there enough. People that are disabled,
No.
because they're the one. A lot of them, they can't even get around at
Right.
all. They're pretty much in a fixed position. But I do believe um, the senior discount thing. They need, if it's available, they're not telling it enough. And I also feel that they should give it more to the seniors, and also I might as well say the disabled group as well,
Yeah.
because
Put him in the same category, if you will. That's fine. The thing is, the great news, and this is always good news. We have the information at the touch of a button. Just check online, ask questions. Where in your area can you get a discount? See wherever it's possible. You use that tool. What is that called? Gas Buddy or something
yeah,
that?
Gas Buddy, what that does is, I have it on my phone. Anybody can download it. It's free. And you'll go to it. If you have your location on, it will automatically pull up all of the gas stations that's right near you. If you've got wholesale clubs and they have gas, it will tell you. I like to get I might as well bring that up since you mentioned Gas Buddy. I usually get my fuel for my car at wholesale clubs because I get it at a lesser cost.
Wow.
For example, I've got a gas station right near me. Regular gas is 3.24. If I go over to Costco or Sam's, it's 2.91. I would rather pocket that 30 cents.
Yeah, it adds up because it's not just the 30 cents, right? It's like times whatever you're getting. So yeah, that's
Well, one
great.
thing I do recommend, since you brought up the subject of fuel, I want to pass along. It does not hurt to do this on any vehicle. Um, on your second or third, when you put gas in your car, go ahead and use 93 octane. Yes, it costs you more money, but think about something. I have a 2005 Toyota Camry with 194,000 headed toward 195 mileage. The fuel injectors have never been cleaned out, but it still has decent power. What you're doing is you're saving yourself money down the road to have those injectors cleaned. So go ahead and pay out that. I'd rather pay a little more prematurely than to be laying out that extra 150, $200 down the road to get the injectors fixed. Think about that. So every second or third when you go to get gas, I'm not saying you got to put a complete tank of 93. You could if you want to.
Right.
But I would say throw about a half a tank or 2/3 in, to mix it up, you know.
Right.
But that's what I do with my car. So
And you do also something very interesting with a food that you could pick up that's really nice looking. Those, what do you call those sandwiches? The special sandwiches?
oh, yeah, I personally, people that are in the South that have them already know. But I don't think people out in Texas over that way, I don't think it's that far west of me. Publix. The only other place I'll go get a sub is Firehouse. That would be the only other one in line. But I can go to Publix and get a cold sub, on sale or not, and I can get 2 meals out of it.
That's a deal because the ingredients inside the sandwich you described sound like kind of expensive, like if sold separately.
Well, what I do is I either order, I do it on. I love their wheat bread. It's the best. People that, like I said, if you know Publix, you know Publix. The wheat bread is the best. I get a whole sub. I usually do a turkey whole sub. It doesn't always have to be Boar's Head. It can be Publix brand. I do swear by the Publix brand because the quality is good. That's one thing about Publix. Their quality. You pay a little more, but it's quality. That's what you're getting. And if Boar's Head's on sale, I'll go that route. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll order a sub. A lot of the time it can be $6.99, $7.99. So if I eat twice on a sub, basing it at $8, we'll just round it off. I'm eating $4 and $4.
Bingo.
And I usually like to get smoked Gouda on it, which is, if you've never had smoked Gouda on a sub, I highly recommend it. It gives it a little bit of a smoky taste.
Yeah, it's good. I've had it.
It's good. So, consider that. That is another option.
Good point, Steve. A person is actually giving themselves kind of sort of a discount because you're taking that one sandwich, you turned it into 2 meals. So, right, if you, let's say you spend $7 on it, take heart because you're getting 2 meals and it's only $3.50 per session. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. And if you look back, I used to have a segment. I stopped doing it, called Recipe Tuesday. I stopped it a while back. And I would go on there, and in fact, it's in my history. I would go back and do a lot of bare bones, 5 ingredient or less meals. Sometimes they're desserts. It's a mixed bag. And a lot of the time, these 5 ingredient or less meals, depending on how much you make, all you have to do is just double the amount, can feed a family. And it's not breaking the bank. You're not going to go spend.
Love it. I'm all for that.
Yeah, you're not going to spend $25, $30, $40, $50 just to feed yourself.
Right.
I would say it's probably 15 and below, maybe. But it also depends on how many members in your family you have.
Right.
So, if you definitely want to go back and look through my lineup and see what I've got. One of the ones that I made last night, I did it with ground turkey, egg noodles, and cream of chicken soup. And that's all it was.
So that's 3 ingredients.
Yeah. So it fed, let's see, me and another person, I ate 1 decent sized serving, and my friend was able to eat 2.5. So that would easily feed a small family, to give you an idea.
It sounds delicious.
It is. If you don't want to use cream of chicken, You can go the cream of mushroom route. I've done that.
Right.
It's a blank canvas. But I do recommend when you make that recipe though, make
Yeah.
sure you use a cream of soup in it. And what I do is I go to Walmart and I'll get their family size can of soup. The cream of chicken is only $1.64.
Oh my gosh, you
That's
can't go
it.
wrong with that.
No, the egg noodles was about two something. The ground turkey, I had a buy one get one free deal on it. So people don't think things out when they go to prepare a meal. People are not.
Did you say with the ground turkey you got a BOGO?
I did butterball. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Now
that's it.
that's a deal.
Now I made sure I went back Tuesday evening. I was going to go Wednesday. I'm glad I went back Tuesday with everything I had to do. Well, but I'm glad I went Tuesday. And
Not
got
all BOGOs are a good deal, but did you get a great price on the base price?
Yeah, I don't think. Let me see. Do I have my receipt here? Let me check.
Because BOGOs could be tricky sometimes. But
That's
it sounds
that.
like you got a deal.
I did. I'm looking to see if I got the receipt here.
I love bagging a
Here we
deal.
go.
I love that. Go ahead.
So the ground turkey, 1 pound was $6.29. So break it in half.
Wow, that's
So if you
great.
break it down, you might as well just round it off. It's like $3.15 a pack.
For meat. I mean, for meat. Now, I
Yeah.
know ground turkey isn't for everybody. Somebody that I know got on and made a video and, declared how much they don't like ground turkey. But you know what? Don't let that kind of a video discourage you from trying it. Still
No,
try it.
no. In
May not like
fact,
it, but try it.
in fact, this is a true statement. I lost a lot of weight. This was 20 years back almost. But I've put some on. The pandemic came along. I became a little less active. Well, anyway, but I know how to take it off. It's not that difficult. I could stand to lose about 25. But anyway, if you have cholesterol issues and you're trying to better your health, nutritionists and doctors will say, hey, ground turkey, have you ever looked at the total fat content in hamburger meat? Have you ever compared it? I like red meat. I will eat a steak. Do I eat it a lot? Not like I used to. If I eat steak, I'm lucky to eat it twice. I might eat it twice a month.
That's about where I'm at. Yeah. With red meat. Yeah.
I would rather eat poultry,
Yeah.
fish. Believe it or not, pork, certain pork chops, depending on which one you get, is got less fat in it than a steak
Very
does.
lean. Very lean. Pork could be very lean. Yeah.
And you're also paying less per pound and you're getting more for your money.
And we don't mind that at all.
No, because we're trying to focus on extending out. We don't want to dish out more,
Right.
So
And that's an example of a great way to shave some of that 10% off your grocery bill by doing those swap outs, Steve. It makes a difference and it does add up. And please don't get discouraged by naysayers. Let them do whatever they want. Let them fall to the rabbit hole of
yeah.
debt. Let them brag about how they eat out. How do we know they're not using their plastic to death? And we don't know. I
Mm.
rather live the simple life, stay debt free, and just keep saving. To me, that's the best.
Yep. All right. Well, this was some good info that we
Thanks
shared
so
with
much
us.
for having me here, Steve.
You're welcome. It was a good show. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And again, if you're worried about the texture of the ground turkey, don't let that scare you, because if you add your same seasonings and do the proper, and then you could always do your trick. You could always throw a little bit of that beef
A little
bouillon
bit of
in.
beef bouillon powder, yeah, yeah, or a little Worcestershire sauce if you don't have
Worcestershire.
that.
Oh yeah.
It's always a great trick. Yeah, Steve, thank you for reminding me about using that. It works. I literally fooled someone who's been eating my meatballs like since forever ago. They
Hmm.
were completely fooled.
Yeah. And yeah, and I have fooled a couple of people with the ground. Oh, this is good. Oh, I really like it.
Well, thanks to you. But
Yeah,
don't listen to videos that say, I don't like it. They're entitled to not like it. And you're entitled to not like it. Here's my encouragement. Still try it once. If you tried it once, you don't like it, fine. But don't fall into the category of never trying it, because you may deny yourself a great way to save. And yes, you save a lot with ground turkey versus ground beef.
you do.
You do.
Half, almost half.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope everybody has a great, you know, rest of the weekend and a good week. And we will see you guys back here next time. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.